Okay, so we've reached the end of the question and answer period. We're going to do the closing statements now. As a reminder, each candidate has 3 minutes for their closing statement. We're going to begin with candidate Waterman.
As you know, my name is Joyce Waterman. I am a pastor in Jersey City. I've been doing it for 16 years. Not only that, I'm a prison chaplain. I've been doing that over 20 years. I'm also a summer camp director because I have my own summer program for children, which is called the Hope Program. I've made a decision to run for council at large is because I care about Jersey City. I'm a native of Jersey City. Eleanor Roosevelt said this, and I use this quote: "It isn't enough to want change, one must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it, one must work at it." I am willing to work at change for Jersey City. Like I said, I'm a native here, a pastor, a chaplain, so I know the ins and outs, pretty much dealing with people, and people at this time, they want change. My responsibility to you as a council person is to work for you. You hire me, and because you hire me, I will be concerned about your transportation. I will be concerned about your economic development in your neighborhood. I will be concerned about your parks. I am concerned about your quality of life. But only thing I need you to do is just give me a chance. So on May 14th, I encourage you to please vote for Team Full Up. Joyce Waterman is on the slate. This is an opportunity to make Jersey City go forward. Thank you.
Candidate Rivera.
Thank you for having me here today, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw through my fumbling answers early in the beginning, listen, I'm not a politician. The fact is that I've been involved with youth activities for the past 20 years in a baseball program, which is, to me, the best baseball program in the nation, the Roberto Clemente Little League, which services children from the entire city, not just from a ward, from the entire city. And for far too long, we've taught children to get to the level of the major leagues. We've had 3 major league ball players come out of our park, but then we've had too many funerals that I've had to attend because our crime is rising in our city. And I tell you, with Team Full Up, we do have a vision for the youth of this city. I want to make sure that they're safe. I want to make sure that we can have those extended programs, those after-school extended programs that we used to have, to make sure that we get them back so that we can have our kids focused and engaged in extracurricular activity, safe from the streets. Because the truth of the matter is that we do not have anything to entertain these kids out in the streets. Our recreation ends at the age of 16, and at 16 years old, it's extremely tough to put a child out there in the street and tell them, listen, there's nothing else that, the city can entertain you with or high schools can entertain you with. And they are easily entertained by all types of drugs, gangs, etc. So electing me on May 14th, I'm telling you, I will make sure that the youth, the seniors, and you are safe in the city you live in, and that you can regain that pride that you have for our great city. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. And thank you to the Heights Coalition folks for organizing this again tonight. And thank you to all of you for being here and giving us the opportunity and your listening to really present our vision and our ideas for moving Jersey City forward. I am Rolando Lavarro, councilman for the City of Jersey City. I'm 10B on the ballot. I was elected in November 2011. We beat the Healy political machine then. And since then, and over the last 19 months, been working hard to bring change to Jersey City. My first piece of legislation that we sponsored and passed, and I co-sponsored that with Councilman Fulop at the time, is a living wage ordinance that took those tax abatements and ensured that any developer who's providing jobs in Jersey City, that they provide a living wage to the people of to any of their employees. The other move that we did was that I sponsored a crime prevention ordinance. Now, the Healy administration fought back on that, but I'd like to think that our actions initiated and moved Jersey City forward towards ensuring that we have more police on our streets and foot patrols as a result. The crime prevention ordinance called for an operational study of the police department. Listen, on May 14th, you have a real choice and a stark contrast between Team Healy and Team Fulop. You have on one side a culture that values backroom deals and feels that community input is that they just have to do the legal obligation, the minimum legal obligation to fulfill community input. On Team Fulop, we embrace public input and consider it the foundation for good policy and a stronger Jersey City. On the other side, they have a culture of complacency and an acceptance of mediocrity. And on our side, we're looking to lead by example. They go by the mantra, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I tell you, I think their mantra should be, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We have a vision and a platform for Jersey City and moving Jersey City forward across a number of issues: sustainability, public safety, education, taxes and budget. And I invite you to check out our website, stephenfulop.com, to get that information. Because I know when you compare it, you'll find that it's no comparison because they have no plan to move Jersey City forward. On May 14th, you have a choice between maintaining the status quo and moving Jersey City forward. We invite you to join us in moving Jersey City forward on May 18th and to vote for Steve Fulop, 5A. For it? 14th. Oh, May 14th, I'm sorry. Rolando Lavaro, 10B, Joyce Waterman, 8B, Daniel Rivera, 9B, and Sean Connors, 1C. Thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a politician. I'm a passionate community servant. I've been doing it for 18 years, and I'm part of the Walker team, who's also been doing it for a long time. The reason why I'm running for office, Councilman to my left told you why I'm running for office, because the Healy administration and the Fulop administration keep bickering back and forth and not getting anything done for our city. Issues. We need to take care of the residents of Jersey City. Our team has already been doing this. They talked about after-school programs. Mr. Walker's already been doing it. When we talk about community policing, I've been doing it. I've been out there, working my butt off to protect and serve the people of Jersey City. I focus on service. I think policemen should definitely focus on service, and there should be a lot more sensitivity to you guys. The reason why I'm running is because too many times, I've always been on that side, trying to make an educated decision on who I'm going to vote for. And 6 months after the election, they're not coming around shaking my hand anymore, and they forgot how to speak Spanish. That's why I'm running for office. I want to make a difference in Jersey City. I've been here all my life, I care about my people, and I need to make a difference. The other day, I was home watching TV with my wife, and I saw a commercial. I saw a Steve Fulop commercial with an actor playing as a police officer, and a bunch of kids in the classroom raising their hand. And I said, wow, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing all my life. I've been giving service to my community. I'm proud of being on the Walker team, and I'm proud of working with Jerry. And I told Jerry, we don't have all the money for all these fancy commercials and all these flyers and all these posters, but we have hardworking people who care about Jersey City. And one more thing. If Steve Fuller would have given me half of the money he paid that actor, I would have done it. I would have taken that money and we could have used that for our campaign. I'm 5B, and I ask you for your support.
Candidate Perez.
I want to start off and give a little bit more information about myself. I've been a community activist for over a decade. I've been working in the community. I've worked for nonprofits, Casa Don Pedro, La Fuente, New Jersey Working Families Alliance. I've worked with labor groups. I've worked with as a chief of staff and a researcher in the state legislature. I've dedicated my life essentially to public service. I've worked with federal officials and with state officials and with local officials. My resume goes the gambit, and then through all that, I've never been the elected official. I have been the person who's been driving force, making sure that the community is always well represented, and making sure that the community's voice is always there and always being heard. I feel that we bring the things with us. Each person up here wants to do something for the community. Whatever their motivations are, public service is something that you dedicate your life to, or you get out of office pretty quick. I'm very proud to stand with the police department on a number of issues. You know, the North District, which covers the Heights, has seen an 18% overall drop in crime in the last 4.5 years. Now, one crime or one murder or one homicide is one too many. So we want to increase some of the things that we do out there. You know, the Healy administration is the driving force behind 22 police officers, foot patrol officers that were just hired no more than a few months ago, that in a partnership with the public community, and we actually got signatures from the community to actually find federal funding for this. You have 18 of those officers that are being paid without a cost to the taxpayers. So I want to continue doing some things like that. I want to see us up that number to maybe up to 50 by my term ending. And I think that we can do that by community involvement, connecting the community to city government, to private companies, and making sure that we have real holistic goals to solve the Jersey City's problems. On May 14th, please vote for Viola Richardson, Peter Brennan, myself, and the Healy team, Mario Gonzalez. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Connolly.
Good evening. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, good people of our city. City we all love. I think we all do. I certainly do. I grew up downtown in the house my father was born in. And let me tell you, it was pretty rough when I was a kid. In the 60s and the 70s, as everyone was fleeing downtown, we didn't. We stayed. You know, we toughed it out because we love our city. And I'm going to tough it out. Then things got better. Then along came the 80s when our taxes were forcing people. I personally knew people that lost their homes to the tax gavel. And you know what, I see that happening again. And it's a shame that people that grew up in our city and love the city so much, go to school, go to church, shop in our city, and here in their twilight years, they face a horror of having to be perhaps put out in the street or put into some home somewhere. That's not the kind of city I want to call my home. It's going to go that way. And you know what? It doesn't have to go that way. As things got better, it was great to be in Jersey City. I welcomed the newcomers. We needed that. It was like a breath of fresh air for our city. But lately, in the last, 10 or so years, I think the city's been going in the wrong direction. We once had great recreation facilities for our kids. We just don't have them anymore. Jerry Walker has been doing stuff for recreation for our kids for 17, 18, 19 years, but guess what? There are just not enough Jerry Walkers in the world. And as has been pointed out, it's not enough to have good schools, and we have to improve our schools. What happens when you turn these kids on the streets? In our society today, where you have maybe single parents or both parents working, those kids are left to wander the streets with nothing to do. You're asking for trouble. Another thing that really got me interested in running. I see a city that's gone, really two cities. You have the city of the privileged on the waterfront, and the city of the forgotten, which is just about everywhere. We have the city of the connected. The connected few, we'll call them the elite, many of which don't even live in our city. And the rest of us feeling that our city treats us like strangers. Whatever the problem is, please know, if you elect me, you have a friend in City Hall. Not because you came to a fundraiser of mine, not because you even voted for me, because that's what I'm asking you to do. I want you to put a friend in City Hall, your servant, and I will advocate your voice, not the voice of the waterfront, not the voice of the connected, not the voice of the developer, but our people's voice. Thank you.
So thank you to everybody for coming out tonight. We all expect everybody here to go out and vote. You wouldn't have come here to listen to the candidates, to make a decision if you weren't going to go out to vote. What's just as important though is that you take the message from all these candidates, what you learned tonight, and share that. Share that with your family, with your friends, with your neighbors, and make sure they also go out and vote. Remind them of the date, May 14th. Remind them of who the candidates are. Inform them of what you learned tonight. That's why all the groups who are part of putting this event together, that's why we wanted you to come out here tonight, to learn about the candidates and to spread the word. May 14th, let's all go out and vote, and let's make sure that we increase the turnout from last time. Turnout is historically terrible for these city council elections. You guys all made a big effort here. Continue that effort. In honor of Doris Stoltz, on behalf of whom this forum was sponsored, on behalf of all the community groups who put this event together, and on behalf of all the candidates who are here tonight to share their message, thank you all for coming out. Have a great night.